Right. I do welcome you one more time to the conversation. We are looking at the past paper of 2024, and the question is question number 5. And so the question is reading: asymmetric information can have, deleterious effects on market outcome. The question is explain how asymmetric information, we're on question number 5. Explain how asymmetric information about a hidden characteristic can lead to adverse selection. Now, what is asymmetric information, first of all? That's what you have to understand before you can start the discussion. Before you can start. Asymmetric information occurs when one party in a transaction has more information or better information than the other. For example, you have a transaction where two people are there, a seller and a customer. Someone has more information, especially even maybe a seller. Let's say a seller knows so much about what they are selling more than that person who is buying. So in that effect or that time, you will find that the one who is selling actually is likely to manipulate the one who is buying, because the one who is buying doesn't have much more information. That's what we mean by information asymmetric. The information is not balanced, you understand, right? So now explain how this, can lead adverse selection. Now, negative selection. What is adverse selection? Maybe that should be your question. Adverse selection, this is the problem that happens during asymmetric information, where you choose wrong people. For example, when a company is hiring workers, right, they end up, if someone maybe manipulates lies on their CV, for example, I'm giving you an example. They manipulate, they lie. They might likely choose that person who has lied, and they choose a wrong person. Leave the person actually who is telling the truth, who actually knows much more truth. That's a bit about adverse selection. So now, listen carefully. Asymmetric information will occur when one party in a transaction has actually more or better information than the other. So in the context of a hidden characteristics, for example, one side, typically in this case, this is the seller. He has more information about a product or a service that the buyer cannot easily access. So what usually happens is that the discrepancy can lead to adverse selection, where the buyers are unable to distinguish between high quality and low quality products. The buyers, so they don't know which one is high quality, which one is low quality, because they don't have information. They may even get poor product. So, for example, in the used car market, for example, you're dealing with the used car market, the sellers know more about the car conditions than the buyers. As a result, what will happen is that the buyers may be willing to pay only an average price that reflects the risk of purchasing a defective car. So high quality services, high quality sellers may exit the market, leaving only low quality products, thereby leading to market failure known as adverse selection as well. So all these are some of the things that happens. Now, discuss 3 tactics that managers can use to overcome adverse selection. They try to do a lot of things. Number 1 is signaling. This is what they do. They do signaling. Now, what is signaling? This actually involves the informed party. Usually this is the seller. Provide a credible signal to convey product quality to the buyer, right? For example, offering warranties or certifications can assure buyers of the product's quality, right? Provide, certificates. Tell them that you have these certifications, or maybe you can tell them the warranties that if you buy this, you have a warrant of 2 years, because the warranties actually, they tell us more about the quality. Not you have this person who says, no, what if it gives me a problem? No problems, it can't give you problems. Understand, right? Signaling, very, very important. Number 2 is the screening. We do screening. Screening is helping us to avoid this problem. It's a method that is used by actually, an informed party. In this case, let's say the buyer. They induce the other side to review information. For instance, in the job market, employers, they might use tests or require specific certification to determine a candidate's competence. Yeah, you can't just go, for example, even if you know ICT, for example, you even know how to play with computers properly, your parents, they know how to use computers, you were born with computers. You can't just go and explain to your employer that without a certification, but a certification from a credible institution may actually give you a job. Yeah, at the same time, nowadays, even during the interviews, we try by all the means. So, yeah, we try by all the means to engage to all these people so that they can actually do well. Okay, that's called the screening. That is called what? Screening. That's called the screening. Now, the other one is offering trial periods. Offering what? Trial periods. So for this one, you allow customers to use a product or service for a limited time without commitment. Then the seller can reduce the perceived risk, enabling the buyer to gather information about the product quality. These are some of them, right? These are some of. Now let's go to part B of question 5. It says, a risk-neutral customer is looking for a watch. Underline the word risk-neutral. They know that 3/4 of the stores sell for hundreds. That's what they know. $100. While a quarter, which is just 1/4 of those, they sell at $40. Just a quarter. So currently, the consumer is, is at a store where the watch costs 100. Now, assume that the customer can search other stores for free and can return to the original store to buy the watch at 100 anytime. Additionally, the price at other stores do not change, regardless of the consumer's awareness. Should the consumer buy the watch at 100 or continue the searching? This is what usually you do when you are in town. You buy this is 100. You know that most of them they buy at 100. But you know that there are some few that sell it at cheaper prices. So you keep on. Should you keep on moving, looking for that or not? So that is the question. So now the question is, should you keep on moving? B. Now, let's go ahead and consider this. Question 5B. Now, a risk-neutral consumer is looking for a watch actually. So now, the consumer should decide based on the expected value of finding a store that sells the watch for 40. The probability of finding that store is actually just 1/4. 1/4, which is actually 0.25. That's the probability of finding such a store. Now, the expected price if they search another store would be 0.25, the probability, times the price, the 40. That will be equal to the weight, because we want the expected. So it would be the 0.25 times 40 plus the 0.75, which is 75% of those that sell at 100. And when you do your computation, you find that this is 85, right? That is the expected price, the expected price. Now, listen carefully. So, since the expected price of searching is lower than the current price of buying, it is the consumer's interest to continue searching rather than buying the watch immediately at what? At 100. That's what they should just continue searching because the expected price is a bit lower actually. Believe that to do that. Let's go to hey, question C. Suppose that the total benefits and total costs from an activity are respectively given by this. These are benefits 150 plus 28 Q minus 0.5 Q2 Q squared. And then cost is just 100 plus 80Q. What are we asking? Write down the equation for the net benefits. You know, the net benefits equation. The net benefits is actually just the difference between benefits minus cost, right? So we're just subtracting 150, this equation from that plus 2080 Q minus 0.5 Q squared. Is it 0.5? No, that is not 0.5, so it's 5. Use of the 0.5 from the previous question. It's 5. It is 5 minus 100 minus 80 Q. Collect like terms together. This will be 150 plus 20 Q minus 5 Q squared minus 100, which will make 100, which will just make 50. So that will make 50 plus 20 Q minus 5 Q squared. This is the net benefit. That is the net benefit. That's the difference. That's the equation. What are the benefits when Q is 1? So if you want to find the benefits when Q is 1, you need to find the marginal net benefits, which means you differentiate this net benefits with respect to the Q's, right? Differentiate this function. When you differentiate this same function, the function is 50 plus 20 Q minus 5 Q squared. To differentiate with respect to Q, differentiating this function, this one is a constant, 0. You have 20 minus 10 Q. That's the derivative of that. And then in this question, then now you can start substituting. What is the benefit between Q1 and Q2? At Q1, you just substitute where there's Q1, you put that. So it will be 20 minus 10 times 1, which will give us 10. And then this will give you 10. Then at 2, this will be 20 minus 10 times what? You know, Q at what? Or Q at 5. This will be a negative value. It will be negative 30. It will be negative 30. It will be negative 30. Okay? Well, those are the net benefits that we have to expect. The other one will be negative because you are producing much more higher output and the cost has increased more than the benefit. Part 3 is saying, write down the equation for the marginal net benefit. For the marginal net benefit. The marginal net benefit. The marginal net benefit. Okay. So if you want to find you want to write down the equation for the marginal benefit, you simply have to differentiate the net benefit equation as well, which is simply what we have already done. You know, the net benefit function is here, so you differentiate it, and as you derive it, the output that you find is actually what we're talking about. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Then part 4 of the question is saying, what are the marginal benefits at Q1 and Q2? Okay, I see. The marginal net benefits are these both of them. So when you are differentiating function, you have crossed over to this part 3 and that. So it's actually the same thing that you you substitute into this, so it will be 10 and negative. Those are marginal net benefit, but the net benefits, okay, just the net benefits, you just need to use that same equation that has not yet been differentiated. That's the one that you use. So getting back to this one, you need to use the one that has not yet been differentiated, like this one. This one has not yet been differentiated. So this is where we put 15 plus 20 times Q1 minus 5 times 1, like that, 1. So it will be 70 minus 5, which will be 65. Then at 5, it's going to be, you put 5 here, that will be 50, that will be 100, 150 minus 10. 150 minus 25, so it is 125. It is 125 when you do 5. That is for B, sorry. So that is for part 2. Then for part 3, this is where now you differentiate this other function. When you differentiate this net benefit, the net benefit function, so that you can find marginal net benefit function, that's 20 minus 5 to Q. So when you substitute into this, you find the marginal net benefits. One, that will be, that is going to be times 10 here. Give it 10. Then here, it's going to give you another 10 times 5, which is the negative. That is for now. What level of Q maximizes the net benefit? This is what they're asking. Is it Q1? Is it Q2 now? Is it Q1? Is it Q2? So the value of the net benefit at Q2 actually substitutes into the net benefit. It will be equal to 7, right? If we do it at 2, if you do it at 2, you substitute into the net benefit this one, it will actually be equal to 7, so which is better. At least it does maximize. What's the value of output? Because it's 1, 5, you've seen. At 5, you are trying out from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are negatives, you understand? This is even negative. So this one again is low. So 2 is even better when you substitute into the net benefit. Understand, right? The net benefit function is this one. So it's 50 plus 20 times 2 minus 5, you know, times 2 squared. You work out your functions, you find the 70 given as the output. That's it. At the level of Q, that maximize, which is 2, the net benefit. What is the value of the net? What is the value of the net benefit? You have already said the level is 2, then the value is 70. The value is what? Is 70. So that's about question number 5. So that is what we are supposed to do. Any questions? All right.